Good afternoon. As you thought about coming in, what were your ideas as the nature of help you wanted?
I've been having some family issues lately that I haven't really been seeming to figure out how to cope with. I'm really just looking for your help and support.
As my role as a social worker, I'm unable to give you advice and give you specific answers to what is going on. However, I'll be here every step of the way to help you figure out and cope with the situations that are going on with your family.
Okay, thank you.
So you're saying that you're having challenges with your family. Would you like to explain a little bit more with what that entails?
Yeah, well, as of right now, it's just my parents and myself living at home. My brother recently just disappeared and didn't say why or anything. He just left a note and said, "I am okay, don't worry." This really has been hurting me, but also my relationships with my parents.
I can imagine that this can be an extremely hard time in your life. One of our goals is going to help you with coping with your hurting. I also would like to ask, in what ways is this event hurting your relationship between your parents?
Well, my parents and I have always just had a rocky relationship. My brother was always the favorite child and seemed that they cared about him more than they did me. And now that he has basically disappeared without really telling anyone anything, my parents are freaking out. It seems that I literally don't have anyone and they don't even exist anymore.
So what you're saying is that the disappearance of your brother also feels like you have disappeared as well?
Yes, exactly. They don't pay attention to me anymore. All they are worried about is trying to get a hold of him and figure out where he went. If they're not talking about him, they're crying about him. It really upsets me because I've had 2 baseball games this week and they haven't even showed up.
I hear that you're feeling isolated and overlooked. Have you had any communication with your parents with how you're feeling?
I've kind of told them one time, but they just blew me off. It worked for a little bit, then went back to how it was. They said sorry, that they have been focused on my older brother, but they also will do better on balancing the focus on both my brother and I.
It seems that the communication does help for a certain amount of time, though. Do you believe that maybe if you kept that line of communication open, that they would maybe listen to you more? Sometimes it's hard when parents are going through a tough time as well. They get too focused on what is going on in one aspect and lack focus in another area. Sometimes people just need a little reminder here and there.
I definitely think that communicating with them more is really important. I think that maybe me not saying anything was making me feel worse because I was hurting because they weren't focused on me, but yet they might have not known that I was feeling this way. If I do better communicating, maybe my problems will dissolve with my parents.
I'm glad that we were able to work through some of these challenges that you're facing. However, it is also important that you are coping with your brother leaving. In what ways has this disappearance hurt you?
This makes me sad, like that he would even just leave without saying goodbye. It also just makes me sad seeing how upset my parents are, so it kind of makes me mad at him for making them feel this way.
Have you had any communication with him? Have you personally tried talking to him, reaching out?
Actually, yes. I talked to him the day after he left. I was just worried about him, so I called him. He said that he was tired of being stuck in our town, said that he wanted to do bigger things in life.
Well, I could see where someone would feel this way. Is there anything else that he said?
Yes, he said not to tell our parents about the conversation we had had. I was really torn on if I should tell them or not because I knew that they were hurting so badly because they have no idea where he is or why even he left.
Well, that does put you in a hard predicament. We could come up with 2 scenarios of what could happen in this situation. You can either A, tell your parents that you had this conversation with your brother and disobey your brother's trust, or option B, you could keep the secret from your parents and hurt them even worse.
Both of situations are hard choices to make. What would you do in this situation?
Well, I'm not here to give answers like I said before. I'm only here to help you work through your situations.
I understand that. I think that disappointing my brother's trust is something big, but at the same time, so is hurting my parents even more than they already are. I think I want to tell my parents that I had that talk with my brother so that they will feel some sense of comfort knowing that I talked to him.
Okay, it seems like we have came to a good conclusion about the situation going on with your family. if at any time something new comes up with this, please don't hesitate to call and make an appointment to speak to me more.
Thank you very much for helping with the situation. I really do appreciate you.